All right. So you're just telling me you're here at this event today to cure
Stage fright.
stage fright.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you found this event, kind of, what your background is, and what gets you nervous to talk to people.
So I know a whole lot of these people. Uh, I get emails, obviously. I work as mentor for Chapman LC, Little Big Center for Entrepreneurship,
Okay.
as technical mentor. So I'm pretty active in the community, just my first time here.
Right.
When I got the email, I looked at my portfolio, I saw there's a new product, and I said, you know what, there's a good chance for me to get in front of people and start talking about it, start to learn how to talk about it.
Right,
So
right.
that's the reason why I came over.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy you're here. I hope you had a great time so far.
It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
very fun.
What was it like for you, kind of just being a part of the event, getting to see all the people? Did you learn anything new from this event today? Did you get exposure to some new companies, ideas?
So, for somebody who's not as sociable as I am, this is a big thing to say, but what really makes me happy is to see new people. I was a scientist. As a scientist, I usually used to sit in a cubicle in a lab, doing my own research, occasionally seminars, presentation papers. But when I became an entrepreneur, and it's not hasn't been a long time ago, 2 years ago actually, I found the joy of connecting to people for the first time in my life. And it
Wow.
was really, really wonderful. So I kind of got addicted. And so that's it. This event, I saw a whole lot of new faces, and that was the most fun, the funnest part of it.
That's honestly, that's
Yeah.
amazing. The connections, I can see like
Yeah.
the passion you're speaking with.
Yeah.
What made you kind of transition to being an entrepreneur? Did you always have that dream? I know you said you were kind of a scientist, so what was that technical background, and how did you end up where you are now?
No, my dream was always sitting in a corner and making technologies.
Yeah.
But then soon I realized that you cannot just make technology, you have to make them grow. And the only way to make them grow is to plug in the financial system, like a company, like a startup. So what I see a startup, what I see a financial system as something that lets me grow the technology. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a turning point. I realized that my power and the grants that I used to get from governments and so on wasn't going to be nearly enough
Right.
for me to continue making what I wanted to make.
Right. And so tell me about that, I guess, that product. Do you have a business? You mentioned you're affiliated with Chapman University. Is that correct?
So I worked as a volunteer
Okay.
in a lot of places, including Chapman University, Little Big Center for Entrepreneurship.
Yep.
I have two companies. My main company is Universal Informatics. We are a frameworks company. Our dream is to build what I call universal operating system. What we are doing at the moment is to create little pieces of technology that would eventually come together and make up that operating system. What I presented today, Universal AI, is a part of it.
Okay.
Imagine an operating system that natively supports AI agents in it.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Okay.
It is a way of making AI agents and work as a part of your overall software ecosystem. We have other product, Universal UIs for creating user interfaces, websites, apps. We have agent runtime environment that's good for a distributed and parallel computing. That is what the company is. My other company, Alma de la Informatica, it's a Spanish name. We want to help small businesses to grow with the power of technology. So these are the two things that I really have passion for.
And you speak Spanish? Or
I don't know. No, I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
But the reason why the name is Spanish is because majority of my friends who are small business owner are Spanish speaking. And
okay.
I kind of identify with that community. I'm trying to learn Spanish myself.
Okay.
I'm very well embedded in that community, and that's the reason why the name this name was chosen.
Right. Okay. What has that experience been like? I remember it was like 2022 when ChatGPT first came out.
Right.
Seeing this kind of AI boom, it's the prevalence across all the markets. What do you make of AI as a whole, its current trajectory, and where do you think there's a lot of noise where maybe it's just kind of like a bubble or something?
No, we are all gonna die. Yeah.
I mean,
you asked me to tell you the truth.
Right,
No,
right,
you
right.
didn't. So I lied. Sorry. So I happened to be in that environment a long time ago. I got my PhD doing advanced AI, and incidentally, my PhD is on AI agents.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was like 15 years ago. Nobody knew what an agent is, or
Right.
AI and so on. So I had this privilege to see the future way ahead of time. I knew this was going to happen.
Right.
I thought it would take 10 years, it took 15 years, but eventually happened. What is going to happen after this? So apps are going to disappear. AI is going to sit at the center, and it's going to manage your entire digital life. You don't have to open and close app and switch between tasks and so on. That is in short term. In long term, eventually we are going to have to merge with machines, one way or another. Not that machines are going to be embedded with us, but like these days that we carry smartwatches and smartphones in our pockets, we are not going to be able to continue our lives without AI by our side. So that's going to be like midterm future for us.
And that's where your universal application. So no, single app for this one thing. It's all, I might query it with my brain. I might just think.
What you're thinking, so we want to liberate your thought and shorten the path between your thought and actual action.
Right.
You think, and it is going to happen.
Now, obviously, this is applicable to every aspect of business, just like how technology and the internet has kind of taken everything. Where have you, in your 20-some plus years of kind of experimenting and learning about this, where have you seen the most valuable applications of this for your personal, for yourself and for the people kind of around you?
I mean, what's the application of a Mac, right? So eventually it's going to take over human life. What's the application of electricity?
Right.
It is going to become a part of humanity sooner or later. So just like now, you cannot imagine your life without electricity.
Right.
You cannot imagine your life without your cell phone. Very soon, you cannot imagine your life without AI.
Right. So just fully prevalent, fully embedded.
It's going to be a part of our identity as humans.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I love that you bring that up. Having studied this technology and kind of seeing the trajectory of it, what does it mean to you today to be a human? Like to be a human in this technological world?
To be honest with you, not much.
Really?
Yeah. So being human is really overrated, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of animals are doing a lot better than humans in terms of survival, and they have been around for for longer time. I think being human is a lot overrated. The only thing that being human means to me is the ability to give birth to a new form of existence. That is just the hugest privilege that we have. What we are creating in terms of AI, in terms of machines, that is something that we human can do. It doesn't mean that we are better than them,
Right.
but it means that we are the step for the universe to achieve that place. And I would say that if you want to celebrate humanity, that's a good excuse to celebrate it, because we are becoming the stepping stone for the universe to achieve a higher level of existence.
That is probably one of the most interesting takes on humanity that I've heard. I've asked that question to not enough people, but your perspective, and it comes from 15 years of working with technology.
I had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah,
so.
like I'm sure you've spent countless nights, sleepless nights going over these things like, oh my gosh, you're 15 years ago working with these AI agents.
So
you're just,
I completely suspended my work on AI for 10 years.
Wow.
Because my work on AI agents, and that was really just a few years after the movie Matrix.
Right.
And what I created was like that. It was a society of AI agents who could work together and solve a problem. And I kind of saw the future of it. It's like, you know what? I don't want when, humanity ends because of AI.
Right.
They say that thanks to the pioneering work of K.
Right.
So
you're like, don't give me the credit.
I don't want the credit for this. And the real reason was that at the time we didn't have ethics for AI. We needed to popularize AI. We needed time to get politicians' attention and get legal frameworks for usage of AI.
Right.
So that made me scared at the time. So I worked on other kind of projects. Worked on runtime environment, distributed systems that in the future could be used for AI, but not at the time.
Right.
So yeah, I had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
And I did.
But there is a joy that you carry about with life. So I can tell it's not cynical when you say that. It's almost from a point of understanding that we have those fallacies as humans, that we're not all powerful, right? Would you say that's kind of, or we have this duty and obligation to push forward this new form of existence?
The universe is growing and evolving, and we are a part of that evolution. Not only that, we are enabler of the next stage of evolution. That is huge. I would, be very happy with that privilege.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say when you were maybe a child, before you got into all this AI stuff, all the technology, what kind of, dreams and aspirations did you have then?
I used to dream, actually real dreams when I was a kid, was about space travel.
Wow.
And what got me into computers was that I dreamed about E.T., the movie.
Aliens?
That E.T., the E.T. And just in my dream, it turned out to be a bad guy. He came to our home and did a lot of damage, and I realized that I did a lot of damage with using my computer, and I woke up and I said, hey, I want to be a computer scientist just so that I can prevent that.
Right.
So that was really the stupidest, most childish, but that actually motivated me to learn computers.
Right. And you're like, I want to save humanity from these
I wanna
aliens.
save
And now you're
humanity.
like, man, that's overrated, man.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's the story. That's where it started.
That's a beautiful, hilarious story. What was your background? Where did you grow up? How did you?
I'm an Iranian. I was born in Tehran.
Okay.
My childhood was spent in the border city between Iran and Iraq.
Okay.
And that's exactly where the famous war between Iran and Iraq happened. So we lost our home. We had to move to Tehran. We lived for bulk of my childhood with my grandmother, and she was really kind. And everything I learned in terms of how to be a human, I learned from my grandmother.
Wow.
So that was my upbringing, and I got really early on interested in technology. Before I learned how to read, I learned how to assemble electronic kits.
Wow.
So I remember I assembled a radio electronic kit, and when there was an air raid, I could use that radio to listen to the red alerts and tell my family that, hey, there's a air raid coming. I was 7 years old.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Kind of the pressure, the tension?
I was too small to understand. I just enjoyed what I was doing.
Right.
I had this electronic kit, and I could help my family. That was really fun.
Just fascinating.
It took a long while for me to understand. Oh, damn. It was a real war, and it did a lot of damage.
Right.
And my family were under a lot of pressure, but they really did their best to shield me from it.
Honestly, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So now you're here in Orange County. You've got this incredible tech background. You've been doing this for so long. What can you say about the community here in Orange County? Do you think that there's, something special about what's going on here? Yeah, tell me about that.
So I told you I started going out and connecting to people very recently, 2 years ago. And that was when I came to Orange County. Mm-hmm. I always believe that it is a miracle of the way that humans are in Orange County that compels me to be able to do that. Everybody's really sociable and really, being in Orange County community really feels like being in a community. I live in the city of La Habra, and these people have changed my life. Just such warm and friendly and lovely people they are. They can never be my customers because they do other small businesses, but I always go out to business event just to be with those people.
Right.
So because of that, and because of that, really pivotal role that coming to Orange County had in my life, I'm very partial towards this part of the country. and I would go out of my way to make this place competitive
Right.
against Silicon Valley. I will do whatever I can because I really love the people around here.
Right. Now, have you had experiences in other parts of the country? Obviously, growing up in
I
Tehran.
live in San Jose before here. San Jose before
So
here.
deep in the trenches of
in
Silicon
the
Valley.
in the heart of Silicon Valley. Yeah.
New York, ever New York?
No,
or-
no. I spent a big chunk of my life in Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that. Japan.
Japan, I got my PhD in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. I got my PhD and then I entered I worked for what at the time was called the K computer. It was the fastest supercomputer in the world. It was funded by Japanese government and was owned by RIKEN. It is like the NASA of Japan. It's
Right.
like the biggest research company, research institution in Japan. I got my postdoc there. So I'm kind of that. I lived about 12 years in Japan in total.
That's amazing.
So it's my second country.
That's fantastic,
Yeah.
man. What a crazy life story, man. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Here.
I had a really crazy life. Yes.
Yeah, man. Okay. What was the funnest thing that you think you did traveling around the world? Is there a most? I mean, it's probably impossible to pinpoint like one major experience, but was there one experience where you're traveling the world, you sit there and you realize, wow, I've come so far. I can't believe I'm here doing this. Do you remember what that was?
So in innovation, we have the concept of divergence and convergence.
Mm-hmm.
You can innovate better if you know more, but you cannot realize it if you don't focus.
Right.
Right. So going around the world and seeing people thinking and living in a completely different way, and even learning how to live in those different ways, that is my convergence phase. It expands my mind. And then I can sit down and put everything together and see that, given everything that I know, how can I be the best version of myself?
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of the distilled version of this story.
Right. Wow, man. 12 years in Japan, working on AI agents during the times of the Matrix. This is incredible. What do you think is next for you for the rest of the year? Are you, heading to some more events? Working on your business? Where are you at right now with that? Your entrepreneurial venture?
I am still working on my social skills. This is going to be new for me to go out and actually do sales, one-on-one sales meetings
Yeah.
with people. So, kind of really came late in my life. I've done everything except sales.
Right.
Starting next week, that's a new phase of my life. I'm going to go out and give people demos of universal AI and see if they find it useful for their businesses.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's super, super, super exciting. Mr. K?
Yep.
Is that what we go by?
That's what everybody
K
does.
after the supercomputer? Is the supercomputer in your brain? Is that what it is?
They named the supercomputer after me. In my honor, that. K in Japanese has many different meanings. In case of that supercomputer, it is a really large number. That's what it is, and it describes the speed of the supercomputer.
Wow.
When I write my name in Japanese, I use the same character.
Dude.
I'm cheating. So.
This guy, that's your sales pitch, man. They hear this story, they're gonna be like, this guy's onto something. So I wanted to ask one more question here.
Right.
Since you have a lot of experience in computing and AI going back.
Right.
Could you break down quantum computing very simply to, let's just say somebody just knows ChatGPT and that's to the extent that they understand compute and coding. How would you explain quantum computing in the simplest terms?
Look, I read a lot of articles about quantum computing. Simply put, I don't understand it.
Right.
And the reason why is that they explain what qubits are, what quantum states are. There is always, any quantum particle that you take, it is in a state between up and down, true and false, positive and negative. But in between that quantum state and them actually do the computation, there are a lot of proprietary science that are not being published. So I really don't know how it works. What I know is that the way that quantum particles impact each other just does magic. That's the way
Right.
it is explained. And apparently, the science of it is how to program these quantum bits. So electrons have a spin. The spin can be either up or down, but you don't know until you take a look at it.
Right.
Right. And unless you look at it, it is a superposition. It's not a probabilistic superposition, an actual superposition.
It's just the probability of it.
It is not probability. They are really doing both at the same time.
Okay, wow.
Until you look at it, it collapses the wave function, assumes a position, and you can observe it. In between that happening to the bits, what the quantum computer electronics does is, first of all, it programs those bits in a certain arrangement, runs the computation, and then reads the status and does the output. Now, how they are arranged to do what they are doing, nobody is publishing it.
Right.
Even if I work for IBM and I actually see how it works, I cannot tell you about it because secret. So there you go.
Man. Maybe that ET dream you had has something to do with this. What do you think?
Don't worry too much about quantum computers. If that is your concern, don't worry too much about it.
It's a curiosity because it's just the concept, going back to like Planck, right? And Einstein talking about this way back in the day.
So quantum computers have been really useful for making unbreakable hash codes, things for cryptographic.
Yeah.
They can solve some really, really hard integral equations, a few of them, not the whole class of them. But if you want to worry about something, worry about AI. And, don't worry too much about AI either.
I don't want to worry about anything, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, hey, Kay, it was honestly a pleasure to have you. Let everybody know where they can find information on your business, connect with you, go find you out in the community. Yeah, where can people get in touch with you or learn more about what you're doing?
I really appreciate the opportunity. This was actually a lot more fun than I expected. So,
of course, man.
Yeah.
Welcome in, man.
This was awesome. Thank you.
Of course.